Hey everybody, welcome to the kitchen. It is cooking time with Kim, and this recipe is brought to you by a very special lady in my life and in my heart. So the other day I was posting in a party, and we are doing live cooking classes in our online parties now, which is absolutely fantastic. And I posted, if you had a chef show up at your house to teach you anything, what would you like to make? And one of the comments was Chif Chof. Now I have to tell you that this is not a traditional meal that you would find on a menu at a traditional restaurant. And it's a very special meal to us. So when I saw that, I thought, wow, my mom is with me in the kitchen today. So I am bringing this recipe to you full of heart, full of love, in memory of my mom, and to teach you one of our traditional recipes. So as we were growing up, my mom would make this, and we would have it with hot Italian bread. You can serve it on a little dish of polenta or a little bit of rice. And we only have one restaurant in our area right now that serves traditional Chif Chof as well, which is absolutely kind of fantastic. So we grew up on this recipe, and it's just one of those fantastic things that, you know, maybe a little bit out of your element when you see all the ingredients, but I encourage you, dive into the kitchen, try something new, and bring my mom's favorite, one of my mom's favorite recipes alive in your kitchen as well. So it takes a little bit of prep, and the prep is the longest part, because once you get this all simmering in your skillet, it really is just let it simmer and away you go. So ready for the ingredients? I have boiled for 10 minutes some gizzards, and then you let them cool and you clean them so that you're taking off any gristle, and you're cutting them into really nice fine pieces, like little niblets. So there's no gristle on there or anything at all. And then I've taken some hearts. That's right, I told you to stay with me. Don't stop this video if you're watching this after. Keep going, because this is an absolutely amazing recipe. And I just clean off any fat off the hearts, and then I cut them into small pieces as well, because you want everything to be just kind of blending together and no big chunks of anything while you're chewing, but amazing flavor. And now I've got my rapid mandolin here, and I've put my celery stalk in, and I'm gonna cut the celery stalk on number 1. I want it nice and thin, okay? And just to get this started, I'm just gonna push down on here until this gets down too close to my hands. And I can get my food hopper in nice and safely and keep my celery together in stock there. There we go. This one little one wants to bounce out of the way, so sometimes I go and I turn my hopper around so I can make it stay together. There we go. All right, so my celery is ready to rock and roll, and I've got wonderful, nice little see-through, transparent, translucent pieces like that, so you can see how thin that is and how easy it was to get these all chopped up. Let me finish these pieces. And if you want them smaller, you could absolutely dice them up with your manual processor, but you know celery just gets really soft and kind of just brings beautiful flavor to it. So everything is nice and thin. And then if you wanted it a little thicker, you could absolutely do that just by turning your dial on the back and controlling that. So finished with the rapid mandolin. I've diced my peppers using my utility knife, and a good knife in the kitchen, especially on a recipe like this that calls for a lot of dicing and slicing. You really want a good friend partnering up with you in a kitchen. So I'm going to put all my peppers and my celery in here together. And the last thing that we need to take care of and walk over to my stove is the onion, okay? Oh, by the way, it called for banana pepper. And apparently banana pepper might be one of those rare peppers that you can't get right now. So I am going to be using a little bit of roasted hot peppers done in an oil that my husband likes, because this dish needs heat. It needs a little bit of heat. All right, and we're just going to coarsely chop this onion in no particular shape or size. Okay, get rid of that core. And I'm gonna put it in our manual processor and chop that up really nice and small. I'm gonna add in some of those hot peppers that are super hot and put them in with my onion so that nobody gets a bite of that prize, but it just cooks beautifully and melds right into the rest of the recipe. So put your lid on, chop away. Now you can leave your onions a little bit bigger, but you don't want anybody picking up one and feeling like they should have had to cut it. That's the recipe rule on this particular one. Everything needs to be small enough that you pick it up and you can just bite it and eat it with your bread, like I was saying. So look at how nice and fast that whole onion is just perfectly diced and ready to rock and roll. So we are going to step over to my stove. Just let me transfer my ingredients, and you guys are going to come with me. There we go. Just step on in here. Make sure I've got you in a good spot where we can see each other and you can see the stove. And before I get too zealous and jump in, I did forget to chop up those hot peppers that I said that needed to be a little bit smaller so nobody got a prize bite. So let me put that right inside of that food chopper. And I've got some of that hot oil from the jar as well. But if you can get one nice hot banana pepper, it is perfect for the recipe, okay? Give that a little pump. There, perfect. Just nice and blended in there. Okay, so I'm going to be using our enamel cast iron covered skillet. It's got a perfect depth in there. Just turn on your stove to a medium heat, and while that is preheating, I've got my olive oil here, I've got my garlic and my garlic press here, and we are ready to start cooking. Let me turn this a little bit more so that you can see exactly what's going on. And the cool thing with cast iron, don't hold your hand in there forever. By the way, I was just checking to see if it started. When you preheat your cast iron, it cooks and sears really, really nicely, but it also helps prevent sticking in a cast iron skillet as well. So if it's the enamel ones or our traditional black ones, always heat your skillet first and then add in your oil to it. So we've got, just gonna let that go a little wee bit. And it really is searing and browning things now. How easy is that, right? So let me put in a little bit of olive oil, a little swoosh all the way around. Okay. Then you're going to take your garlic. And we're going to press in our garlic in here. No peeling. The skin comes off nice and easily by itself. Let me bring that pepper bowl over here for a garbage bowl for the skin. And you just use that other end of the garlic cleaner to scoop out any skin that's in there. And garlic is the name of the game. So we're going to use another big honking clove. And I'll see if I want more from there. This just warms my heart being able to share one of my mom's fabulous recipes with you and dive into the kitchen. My husband has taken on some of my mom's recipes, and he was coaching me on this one because he likes to make it. He's like, I do this, I do that. And he switched my mom's recipe a little wee bit. But I'm going to show you exactly how my mom did it, okay? Here we go. Just beautiful. Clean out that garlic. I think we've got a lot of garlic in there, so we're good to go. And get every little bit of goodness out of that garlic press, all the juices and everything. You can start to hear it sizzle a little bit. And we're just gonna get that into the oil. And the one thing with garlic is you wanna brown it lightly, but you don't wanna blacken it. Because once you've blackened it, you really just make it too strong. So once it really starts to smell fragrant, and you've got a nice aroma going on, you are ready to add in your hearts. So we're gonna add those in. I'll talk a little bit about substitutions in a little wee bit, but I'm just going to show you how to do this the exact way, the traditional way that you make Chif Chof. So while that's going, ooh, nice, nice, nice. Now, to sear things and to brown them, you need to let go and let the pan do some of the magic. So please make sure that you just let it brown a little wee bit and then stir again, brown a little wee bit and then stir. And while that's going, we're going to open up our can of tomato juice. And I only had one can here, so with the amount of food that I have, I may have to use extra, so I'm going to use a little bit of strained tomatoes as well. So give your can a good shake, mix up all that goodness. And I know you're probably thinking, why is she grabbing a can opener when you usually just take those ones that go and you make holes in them? Well, I don't like the metal going into the food. So this is going to open it up nice and clean. So you hook it on the top like this, you'll give it a little turn, and you'll feel it grab the lid. Okay, and we're going to go all the way around like this. Almost there, I can see the edge. There we go. And then a half a turn the opposite way, and it comes off. You've got this little claw on the side, a little biter. You're going to come over to the can and just attach that to the lid and bite that straight off. And now I have nothing sharp on my lid and nothing sharp on my can, and the food has not touched any of the metal. It doesn't have paper or anything else like that in it. And we need the whole can anyways, so let's open it up and do it nice and clean and safe that way. So we've got some delicious browning going on in my skillet. Just going to give that a little turn. I think I can turn it up a little wee bit. Just going to turn that up just a tad. So tell me, you know, when you see this post and I share this video, if you've ever had Chif Chof before. And just while this is browning up a little bit, I will share with you a couple of little tidbits that you can do. Now this makes a good batch. It is not normally a whole meal. It is usually something that you serve before your traditional meal. It's a great appetizer. Again, serve it with some good hot Italian herb bread or on polenta like that. Now, if you are saying, oh my gosh, Kim, I cannot believe that you're cooking with chicken hearts and chicken gizzards, please try it once this way. But if you're a vegetarian, skip the meat totally and just get a lot of vegetables in here, and you know, peppers and onions and zucchini and your celery, and put a little bit of our pea protein in it so it gives you the protein, and then away you go. If you tried it and you thought, okay, I did it, Kim, I tried it, I like it, but try a little bit of ground up sausage. So you can substitute this for sausage. Honestly, you're gonna love this and you're never gonna remember the sausage substitute. Now, all that browning in the bottom of the pan is gonna come off, and it's gonna be our flavor into the skillet. And this is gonna be very, very tender. So when you're cooking it down, the gizzards and the hearts slowly cook into the tomato juice until the tomato juice reduces and thickens. And the gizzards, and that will be super, super tender. And remember that I removed all of the gristle and fat from it, and I peeled that back with the knife. So we literally just had little chunks of meat in here. Oh yes, smelling good already. Now I'm going to do something a little different. I'm just going to remove those hearts for a bit because they are brown. And I'm going to throw back in, just like you do in a stir fry, how you cook up your chicken or your meat first. And then I'm just going to take this out a little bit. See how nice they've browned up? All right, and we're going to take our onions and those hot peppers inside of that mix. We're going to add it into the hot juice that's sizzling here. We're going to brown this up a little bit, then I'm going to add in my vegetables and everything back into the same skillet and simmer away. And this will bring a lot of that flavor through very, very nicely. So cook those until your onions are just translucent, about a minute or two, and then add in your vegetables. Can you see how nice that's sizzling? Woo! I might start crying here from the onions, from the juices, from the hot peppers. Get all of your delicious veggies in there now. You can salt and pepper this to taste. Let it start cooking a little bit, then come back and give it a little taste, and you can, you know, add a little salt and pepper. You can add a little bit more Italian seasoning if you wish. All good cooks come and check and taste with their spatula. Keep that spoon handy for tasting. See how nice that looks? Doesn't that look so good? So yummy, yummy, yummy. All right, so I'm gonna add in here very shortly my gizzards, my hearts, the tomato juice. Gonna add in our Italian seasoning. We're gonna simmer low and slow, like I said, until that tomato juice reduces more than half and it thickens up and is delicious. Thank you for popping in the kitchen with me today and sharing one of our family favorite recipes. And if you would like this recipe, I would love to add you to our familia and share my mother's recipe with you. All you have to do is private message me or comment below saying thank you for sharing, and I would love the recipe for this. Have a fantastic day, everybody, and thank you for popping into the kitchen with me.